Hey everyone, I'm on here just for a few minutes because I need to be at my landlord's parents' house for 1:30, and it's probably 1:15 or something, so I'm on here just for a few minutes. I'm going over to their house because I went over a few weeks ago. It was when I went to Plano and I stopped at that Japanese store called the Seiyo. Well, I had picked up a bag of Japanese pistachios for my landlord's father. I know that he likes nuts. Well, they absolutely loved them, and they asked me when was I going back there and could I get a couple more bags and they'd pay me. And so I went in there yesterday because I was in Plano for a doctor's appointment. And so I got them a couple bags. And of course, I'm not going to accept any money from them, but I'll show you. They're called crispy batter pistachios. They have it a little bit in English. And that's the bag. It's in Japanese. And I used to love nuts, pistachios, walnuts, cashews. Excuse me, when I was a kid and teenager, but I can't digest nuts anymore. But I sure would love to have one of those pistachios. Anyway, I hope you can see that nice scenery behind me. This is a different parking area. And I keep looking over to that way because at first I thought that that teenager was locked out of his car. It looked like he was trying to stick a coat hanger or something down in his window. And I was going to see, did he need to have me call someone? But then he walked over in front of his car, and I saw him get in through the driver's side and take a couple things out, and he's just out there spray painting something that he took from his car, so at least he can get in his car. I was going to go live last night just for a little while and show you some things, but yesterday was such a busy day. I know I say my days are busy, and trust me, they are. And yesterday was, I was at the doctor's. I had to go see the endocrinologist, my diabetes doctor. And the appointment with her wasn't that long, but the wait, she's on the 7th floor, and the lab is on the 5th floor. And that whole waiting area, can you hear that? Someone has a rooster. That whole waiting area to get your blood drawn was packed full. You couldn't have a chair in between you. I mean, you were just about sitting on top of each other. That was a long time. My appointment was at 11. Like I say, my appointment with the doctor itself wasn't that long. It was all that waiting at the lab, and I didn't get back to Wiley till almost 1:30. And then, of course, I had to tend to the animals. There's that rooster. And I had to get something to eat because they took 3 vials of blood. And I thought in the evening, well, after I get the chickens put up, I'll be able to sit and do a live. But after I got those chickens put up and took a shower, I was falling asleep. I went to bed, so I'm sorry about not being able to go live. And my voice is still kind of froggy, and it comes and goes. At one point yesterday, I lost my voice, and it is from allergies. The temperature says it's 106 today, and it could be, but it's overcast, so that's helping, and there's a breeze. I don't find it very hot today. I actually like it today. And what else? Well, I got the results from my blood work today. They sent it to my health portal, and it's not good. I have not been feeling good at all for about 3 months. I have had it seems like just a constant flare-up of the spinal cord disease, the syringomyelia, which causes me to be in a lot of pain. And this flare-up, to me, seems like it's gone on for about 3 months. And like I've shared before, my system can't handle any pain medicine, so I just call on God for relief and use ice. So being in the constant pain and then having the flare up and just I never get REM sleep, and I hardly ever get a good night's sleep, and my sleep has been just not good. I did talk to my primary doctor a couple months ago about how I've been feeling and very exhausted, and she said that the chronic fatigue syndrome probably kicked in because of the flare-up. I told her, I don't know, I think there's more to it. Something ain't working right. I just, you know your body. Thank God for the doctors. I'm thankful for my doctors. But really, only you know your body. And that's what I was trying to tell her. And of course, when you're in chronic pain and then have a bad flare-up that just lasts, it puts stress on your system, your body system. And if you're diabetic, that will raise your blood sugar, and that's what's happened. My blood sugar has been running very high. Of course, the morning I went to the diabetes doctor, it was 191, which is high, but not as high as it has been. One day it was 397, and it's been in the 300s for a couple weeks. So 191 was good, and she agreed, even though it's a little high. Anyway, so my A1C is 12 point something. It's very high. I don't have time to explain what the A1C is, but I know that there's some diabetics that watch my videos, so you'll know. And 12 point something is very high. There was something else that showed. My arm's getting tired. But the bottom line is I'm at the I'm borderline to the point where, if I start to feel real sick, like a lot of stomach problems and nausea, constant headache, just a few things like that, if they start to come on me with no relief, she said I'd need to go to the emergency room, and then I'd probably be admitted to ICU and have a insulin drip. Well, I have some stomach issues already, so stomach pain and cramps and nausea is nothing new to me. But it would be just if it went on for days and days and days. In fact, Sunday morning after church, my pastor's wife came to me and asked how I was feeling. I told her I had had a splitting headache, not a migraine, but just a real bad headache and that awful fatigue, and I was real nauseous. So if he's leaving. He has a loud muffler. My endocrinologist probably would have said, well, go to the ER. But I would go, like I say, if those symptoms came on me and they stayed for a few days. But since I get them often and they don't last for days and days, I just chalk it up to that. But talked with the diabetes doctor about my diet. I've lost weight, which is good. And I asked her, I said, compare my weight with the last time I was down here and I was weighed in, at my primary doctors, because they're all in the same system, so they can look in the chart and compare my weight with now. I asked her, do you think it's just water weight? And she said no, that it was not just water weight. So that's good, because they don't really count losing water weight as losing weight. And so I talked to her about my diet, because they automatically assume if your blood sugar is high that you've been just living on carbs, which is not my case. Although I was raised up on homemade pasta, and I love pasta, you won't find a box of pasta in my house, and it's been that way for a while. Yeah, in the winter I made soup and I'd throw in some pasta, but as a rule, there's no pasta in my house. There's no bread. My friend Jen Carruthers, sometimes would tell me, go make yourself a sandwich. I'd tell her, I don't have no bread. I don't buy bread. And occasionally I'll make some rice, but it's not something that is a staple, that I live off of. And there's no sugar in my house. There's no candy. I was never a candy eater. Excuse me while I hold this better. I was telling the endocrinologist, it's not what I eat, it's when I eat. I've never been a breakfast eater, although I've been trying to do better, at least have an egg. But most of the time I don't have. Now, for example, today, I think it's probably close to 1:30 now. I've not had breakfast. I've not had lunch. That's the way most of my days go. And it's always been that way. Sometimes I will make myself have a lunch. I'll have tuna fish on lettuce with cucumbers and tomatoes, or I'll just have a salad, things like that. But mostly my meal is in the evening, and it's a big healthy meal, a meat, and I love vegetables. I love all vegetables, broccoli, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, asparagus, all of them. So I told her, I already know that that's my problem. I should be splitting it up. But when you've lived that way for years, just because when I was healthy and I worked, that's how it had to be. It's hard to, make a better change, but I'm going to. Because I know that if you eat big in the evening and then a couple hours later you go to bed, you're not burning off that fat, you're storing it. She was surprised I knew that, but I told her I was a nurse's aide. I took care of diabetic patients or residents, but mostly I got a lot of that education from being a home health aide, going into people's homes and advising them and helping them and caring for them. So I already knew that. And let's see, I take 3 diabetes pills, and I'm supposed to take the once a week injection of Ozempic. Now, I've had that, I guess, for over a year. I've been supposed to be taking it, and I'll admit I've not taken it once a week like I'm supposed to. Part of the problem was it was hard for me to see. It has 2 points on it, a 0.25 and then a 0.5. Well, you start off with one of those for 4 weeks, and then you adjust it, and then you're on the next one. I was having a hard time seeing that. Thank God I have new glasses now, so I should be able to see it. And I'm just going to discipline myself to take it once a week, and I'm going to do it on a Sunday. It will be in my head, Sunday is church day, and I'm getting ready for church, and I need to take that Ozempic. I will do it. And but the big thing is, and I know that it will help, and I know God will help me to discipline myself to take it every week. And but the big thing is the pain in my spinal cord. You know, your spinal cord, they taught us, was the hotel of your nervous system in your body. Of all of your nerves run through your spinal cord, it's the hotel. So that gets injured or gets a disease like mine does, and it just affects everything. But I'm glad I know the great physician, Jesus, and he's our creator. He knows our body better than anyone. And I'm thankful for doctors, that God gives the doctors wisdom. And I'm thankful when we're not as disciplined as we need to be, like I'm not as far as with that Ozempic. I know that I can ask the Lord to help me, and he will. And so I hope I'll get feeling better. I go back in 4 months, and I'm just going to trust the Lord that there'll be a difference in my A1C when I go, and that in the meantime I don't need to go to the emergency room. So God is large, and God is in charge, and he knows that I'm willing to do my part and depend on him for the rest. And so I'm going to go because I'm starting to lose my voice. I've been over here hearing that rooster, but I don't see him in that people's yard. And I need to get, oh, my hand went numb. I need to get to drop these pistachios off. So thank you for listening.